Hello and welcome to my full PMDG 737 startup from cold and dark tutorial. Today on this tutorial I'll be running through everything from starting up the plane to programming the FMC, pushing back, taxiing out, and the initial departure. So let's get things started. So the first things we want to do, I should have got myself organized and go straight to my app checklist. Link for that will be in the description. So block fuel we won't put in just yet. Parking brake. So parking brake is set. Battery switch on and guard closed. So yeah, make sure, as I said previously, that that's to BAT. That is the APU gen. Battery on, guard closed. Standby power selector. Guard is closed on that. APU bleed switch should be off. Left forward fuel pump we can turn on. APU generator switch start. Now whilst it's doing that, I better just start Skytrack and we can come to the FMC because there's a few things I need to do here. I need to put in my fuel, and today's fuel is going to be 20,388. Again, this comes from SimBrief. And our payload for this flight is going to be 1326, fuel weight. That's already set in. Brilliant. I just need to open the doors because I'll be using GSX ground services. So that's already open. Open the other door. Next page, open the cargo doors. Minimize that. Come out to GSX. Request boarding. And we use British Airways. Okay, so our APU should be ready to turn on by now. Yes, it is. Brilliant. Don't bother with the jetway. You can do if you want, but for this tutorial I won't. APU generator switches on. Position light on and steady. It already is. Logo lights as needed. No, it's daytime, so we don't need those on. Same with cockpit lighting. Emergency lighting armed and closed. Passenger signs. Seatbelt signs off. Jeez, this tutorial's going well. Hold on. Fasten seatbelts off. So I need to just come down to the there, because I haven't opened the door. It's telling me for some bizarre reason. I'm pretty sure I had. Not. Let's close that. Let's open that. There we go. Just a little glitch. Don't you just love glitches? Okay, so APU bleed switch we can now turn on. Let's throw in my flow now. You see I can't find the APU bleed switch. It's up there, of course. And packs we can set to auto and high.
I'm right next to her.
IAS to nav. And FMC initialize position. So we come back down to the FMC. And this will should be where you see it differ slightly from my FMC tutorial, because I didn't realise that probably the nav switches weren't on. Now if we go to FMC, we go position init, we go to the second page, we click on the GPS left for that value and we enter it in for our position there. Your dampener on. Fuel pumps as needed. I believe we'll have some in the centre tanks. Yes, we do. So we'll put all fuel pumps on. Ground power switch we haven't used anyway. Engine generator switches should be off. That's here and here. They are off. APU generator switches should already be on. They are. Window heat we can now turn on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probe heat stays off for now, as does the wing and engine anti-ice. Electric hydraulic pumps off here, and the engine hydraulic pumps here and here should be on. Trim air up on the right here should be on. It is temperature set to auto, there and there. Reset fan should be on auto here and here, they are. Pack control switches, we already have established they're on auto. Isolation valve switch in the middle there should be open. Engine bleeds and APU bleed switches should all be on. Pressurization panel, we are cruising at 37,000 feet today, so just dial that round to 37,000. And now we need to get the ATIS information. I'm using a program called Pro ATC, which I will do a tutorial on the use of that at some point. But for now, let's start our current flight. Fly now. Okay.
Echo Golf
Brilliant.
Lima.
I'm now getting the ATIS information.
Echo 1350 Zulu weather wind 260 at 8
now
visibility
want
10
to see
sky clear temperature 13 dew point 2 QNH 1029er advise on initial contact you have information Echo Golf Lima.
Flight plan information, so I need to tune 121.97.
Weather wind
Should already be on there.
At 8
Yep.
visibility 10,000 sky clear.
8639, clear to Belfast, Border Grove, Wallasey 2 Tango departure.
I need to get my clearance request.
Manchester 128.05, QNH chat 1002.
Clearance delivery, FLY217 with the information request clearance.
FLY217 cleared to destination airport via
We're flying to Helsinki today.
Golf departure. Flying to flight level 60. Expect flight level 370 within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 130.75. Squawk 1354. QNH 1029er.
5-4. Okay, confirm instruction. Boarding is completed as well.
Golf, climb and maintain flight level 60, flight level 370 within 10 minutes after departure.
So we can close the doors.
0.75, squawk 1354, QNH 1029er, FLY217.
FLY217. Read that correct. Contact ground on 121.7.
Roger.
Okay, so we've got our clearance delivery.
FLY217.
So now we've received that information, I can program the FMC. So let's come back down to here. And again, so we've got that all programmed in. We are going from EFHK, and as you saw from my FMC tutorial, I have created a CO route, which I saved as HEHE, the first two letters of departure and destination, and that saves, as I said previously, from having to put all the waypoints and airways in. So we activate that, execute that as well. Performance, double click on 0 fuel weight, brings that up. Reserves 5.0, cost index 26, and our cruising level should be 370. Execute. Must execute this page. If you don't, VNav won't work. I've had that before where I've forgotten. It's like, why is VNav not working? And it's because I didn't execute these details. N1 limits 40. Why am I choosing these values, 40 and so forth? Because those were the ones that came from the PMDG tutorial, and I've just stuck with them. Works fine for me. You can get more specific details from SimBrief if you want to be a bit more sort of realistic and technical, but these work fine. I did put that in, didn't I? 40. Takeoff 1, yeah, takeoff flaps 5 degrees. 514, so let's put that on the elevator trim. I called this a stabilizer trim in my initial tutorial, apologies for that. And we are departing. So if we get up our flight plan information, you can see that we're departing runway 27 left via the BPK-7G SID. I will cover all SIDs and stars in a future tutorial explaining those to you. So execute that. Routine takeoff. Now we can put in our V speeds. 1, 2, 3. come back to our legs because we'll need some details of that in a minute. Actually no, we need to program our arrival, and we're expected on 22 right via the Pexi 3V star. There's no transition to worry about. Execute. Right.
So 40 right, vacate next right, into the apron of Victor.
And one other thing I'm just going to do now, which typically I do in a later phase of flight, but I'll show you how to do now, is a descent forecast. So clicking on the DES page and forecast, I shall enter that in now. And the information comes from SimBrief. So what you do is you enter your first 3 different altitudes descending, so starting from flight level 350. And SimBrief is telling me the winds are going to be 53 knots, 285 degrees. You put the degrees in first, 285/53 goes in there. And this gives you a better descent profile. 20,000 feet next. And the winds there, 313 direction and 057. And finally at 10,000 we have 313 at 50, 313 at 50. As I say, typically I do that in a later phase of flight. I just wanted to show you all that now. Execute it. So you can see why I split these tutorials up now, because altogether it just seems a bit overwhelming and complicated if you're new to all this. Okay, back to the checklist. So we've programmed the FMC. We now need to set up the autopilot, so we put the flight director on here. We arm the auto throttle. Our initial speed we get from the FMC is going to be 169 knots. 69 knots.
Electric 43, vacate right to Foxtrot.
And we want to arm LNAV and VS. Usually go for an initial climb, aim for about 2,300. Why that value? Because when I've looked at flight radar in the past, that seems to be a typical climb rate. Put it whatever you want really, as long as it's positive. And we turn on the other flight director for the first officer's side. Probably don't need to do that, but I do it. Okay, warning annunciations, check. That's those. Auto brake to reject takeoff. Transponder, we've already programmed that in. I will turn it on now. In reality, you don't turn it on until you pretty much enter the runway, but just saves me having to do it later. Okay, and next we've got our doors closed, seatbelt signs we can now switch on because we'll be pushing back shortly. Yep, seatbelt signs on. External power disconnect. We didn't have it. All fuel pumps on. Centre fuel pumps as needed. Electric hydraulics on. And anti-collision lights on. Let us vane engines, which is set already. Packs off because we'll be pushing back shortly. And we're ready to push back. So let's go that. Let's tell Pro ATC stop and push back.
Ground get wide 17. Request start up and push back.
Start up and push back is approved.
Roger, get wide 17.
And why have I not got my charts open? I thought I did have the charts open. Never mind. Start at push back and start approve. So let's see. We're going to be pushing back to evidently the right. So we now need to tell GSX. PMDG does come in with a. Let me just show you this quickly. Hold on. We'll get the pushback done first. Perfect pushback. Nose to the right. And right, PMDG does come with its own pushback feature if you haven't got GSX, however it's very difficult to get it aligned right. You can see you just enter the values in here and start and it does it, or you can just use Shift and P for the inbuilt pushback, but GSX is a useful program. Of course X-Plane comes with a very, very brilliant better pushback. I haven't done the ground connections, so I need to remove those. There we go. And we're now going to be pushing back. I really wish I had my Navigraph charts
Ground
open.
Speedbird 906. Request taxi.
It makes taxiing a lot easier.
Via Bravo Alpha to runway 27 right. Speedbird 906.
In fact, I'm going to turn Pro ATC off so it doesn't talk over my tutorial.
Bypass bin inserted. Release parking brakes.
There we go. It's annoying me. Yeah, the default ATC is.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay, so we're pushing back now and we can start engines. Switch out, start the right engine first. I've switched that round to ground from the off position and this to the right, so you'll see the value increasing here. And as it passes about 20, I flick on the fuel lever. In fact, 27 left. Yeah, okay, so we're just going to... Brilliant, that's handy. Okay. I'll probably do a full Pro ATC tutorial at some point. I know I've turned it off now. In reality, all you now do is ask for taxi instructions and then further on from there, but the trouble is it keeps coming in with chatter. I didn't want it to distract. Lovely day here at Heathrow. We're heading to Helsinki this afternoon. Although the flight sim time is early morning, in reality
Parking brakes.
it's the afternoon for me. Parking brakes set. Okay, so we've got our engine started. Next we want to put the engine generator switches on. Which are these two here. Here and here. APU bleed switch can now come off. Packs can go back onto auto, both of them. The isolation valve switch can be switched to auto as well. Probe heat can come on now. Wing anti-ice if needed, it's not, of course it's there and there. APU generator switch off. Engine start sectors are both off. Flaps.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass bin removed.
There we are, watch the flaps come out, 3 clicks to get it to 5 degrees. Let's do the control surfaces. Auto throttle we've already armed, of course. Flight control free and correct, just saw me do that.
Left is
Okay,
clear.
recall
Right
and
is clear.
check. Nothing on there. Taxi and runway turn-offs. Okay, we would now typically ask Pro ATC for taxi clearance. Of course, I've turned it off, so let's imagine ATC has given us taxi clearance, and we can start taxiing on down to 27 left here at Heathrow. As I was going to say, Navigraph actually gives you a ground map, which you can follow, as does Pro ATC actually. And then my way around Heathrow reasonably well. Yep, someone else has just landed. I'm offline, by the way, so this is all Ultimate Traffic Live you're seeing there. Now we're on our way, we can turn on the weather radar here. So yeah, I'll just do the takeoff and departure and then we'll wrap things up. You can see someone else is coming into land, so typically I should have to hold and wait, but I'll just reset ultimate traffic because it's pointless just being sat here for ages, especially when you're trying to do a tutorial. So as I get nearer, we'll remove that. Not following the taxi, wasn't pay. I was watching the plane run when I was going, and I'm totally off the centre line there of the taxiway. It's not very good, is it? There we go. So let's come around to the right here. There we go. And our friend here is just coming into that. Tell you what, we might just watch him land. And we need to stop. So normally you would stop here and request your takeoff clearance from the tower. Actually, we can stop on this line, can't we? Then we'll let him land and then line up behind him, because whilst he's doing that, there's just a few more things we need to do to configure the plane. See, yes, there's a beauty of Ultimate Traffic Live, as it's impossible to take off at Heathrow, because so he's coming in anyway. Let's line up and wait behind him. Try and get out before this other guy runs me over. So yeah, we can put our takeoff lights on now. We can switch the positions. Strobe on. Oh yeah, and also these to continue. It's not necessary to do it to do continuous, and make a blind bit of difference in the sim. Obviously in real life you do. And we just line up for our departure now, and then we'd be given the wind conditions, takeoff stuff, listed on the runway. AI takes so long to clear the runway. Let's start the flight timer, if it's going to let me, which it's not. Is if I click down here, there we go. We will reset Ultimate Traffic Live, get him off my runway. Okay, so power up to about 4 on here. Wait till it builds up to 40. And then there's a little invisible click spot here, which basically engages auto throttle. There, we're totally off the centre line. There we go. It's a bit better.
V1. V1 takes V2.
Okay. Positive rate of climb. Can put the gear up. Yes, I've just made a horrendous mistake. I forgot to set my altimeter. Jeez, how embarrassing. Okay, we should now be able to switch the autopilot on and VNav on as well. So we continue our climb out over the M25 there. Can't believe I didn't set the barometer QNH. What an idiot. You didn't see that, okay. I don't really want to record this tutorial all over again. Okay, we're going to start putting the flaps up now. And there we go. That is how to start up and depart in the PMDG 737. Thank you very much for watching my mostly correct tutorial, and don't forget to like, subscribe and I'll bring you some more hopefully correct tutorials and other content in the very near future. Thank you very much for watching, and we're off to Helsinki. We'll see you next time.